because with more help, then you get more time for yourself. All right, so that's about me, and I'd love to introduce to you our speaker for today. He has a short presentation, so let me read his bio based on his GBO profile. So he imagines a world of we rather than I, and he believes that we should all change our perspective, and that starts with the right education, which builds a winning mindset. His purpose is to transform the way people see life and business, to help them build the right leadership skills, build great teams and companies, thrive in business, and make an impact for the rest of us. Petros works with individuals, teams, and businesses in resetting their perspective, building the leadership skills required, and developing winning strategies and increasing their performance. He offers his knowledge in sales, marketing, networking, and PR branding, leadership, and culture transformation. Petros is a speaker, a coach, and a consultant and trainer. So guys, please help me welcome Petros from Cyprus. So please, go ahead. Go ahead, Petros. You have the floor.
Hello. It's great meeting you all here, and I wish we're going to have a nice conversation in regards to leadership, and hopefully to inspire you a little bit into taking the next step into practicing leadership. As TJ mentioned, we're going to have a very quick conversation, a very quick presentation, sorry. I'll try to be very, very quick and specific and clear. My purpose through the presentation is to inspire your brain into coming into questions and discussion about practicing leadership. I will ask TJ if he can actually give me the permission to share my screen. Yeah.
Yeah, I've given you the permission. Yes.
All right. Okay, so I can share now. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Super. So, leading success, this is our topic, and we're going to have this short presentation on what you actually need in order to lead your team to success. So, the plan is to go through the definition of leadership, see the ladder of to great leadership, the characteristics of the leaders, the ingredients that people need in order to lead. Then we will open the discussion, and then, of course, closing this session. So let's start with the definition of leadership. Leadership is simply the ability of someone to lead a group of people towards a certain goal. I think with the next slides, you will understand what we mean with this. But let's make clear from the beginning that leadership has nothing to do with any position that we have in life. Everyone can lead towards something. Whatever the goal is, we all have the ability to lead. It's only a matter of practicing. A good note for you is that leadership skills are practicable, and as you could actually practice, for example, exercising your body, you will see the little difference and progress by the time. So it has to do with the goal and with communication. We'll go through. So what is this ladder of great leadership? First of all, we need to understand that everybody can actually lead, The thing is that we need to consider how we lead someone. The first point is that we can lead by the position we have. This, for me, is the worst type of leadership, and that has, it becomes a headache for the people around you. For example, as I said, that has nothing to do with a position in a company or something. The position you have as a person, that could be as a father, as a mother, as a manager, or whoever you are. At every single moment, you can actually, take the power of the position and push people towards something. The only thing that you can actually achieve is that hardly people will follow. The second step of leading people goes through the relationships you build with them. By building powerful relationships, valuable relationships, and especially emotional relationships with people, makes them feel better with you. So it's easier for them to start following you instead of just following your demands that the first step has. Taking the next step further, people feel even more willing to follow someone through their actions. Sorry? By the actions that we actually take, we help people understand the path that we want to follow, so they can actually get inspired and start following us even easier. The next step up is that we can lead people through people growth. I'm sure that you've listened to different quotes about leading by example, or that leaders create leaders. So this is the point that we can actually make them feel more inspired to follow towards a direction, because we help them grow in our process. And of course, the last step, and also I believe that this should be the biggest goal of someone who wants to inspire and influence people and lead people towards something, to be able to lead through their respect. When people respect you, you need almost zero effort in order to have them, following you. These are the 5 steps. This is the ladder that someone should move according to where you are today, to how good leader you want to become in the future. Moving forward, these are some of the characteristics of a great leader. A great leader should commit himself, herself into becoming, or into being a leader. We need to actually understand and have in mind that we are 100% committed to what we are trying to do, where we want to go, and who we want to follow. We need to commit and declare ourselves as leaders. The second characteristic, which is very, very important, is that we lead by example. What this sentence means, that we are listening more often, is that we cannot actually expect anyone to move into a direction that we want to guide them or lead them. without seeing ourselves doing what we want them to do. A leader is the one who is actually doing the things first. The third characteristic is that we need to start focusing on what really matters. We see, with especially the old-time concept of leadership, what we used to call leadership in the past, that it's just someone with the power that moves on. And due to that fact, we see, and especially through my experience, I've met so many people that are trying to lead by just showing, for example, the results, or by focusing, let's say, if it's a business, let's say, focusing only on numbers, for example. People and leaders should be focusing on what makes the number better. So if you're leading a company, you should be taking care of your people, the values, the vision of the company, the culture, how people actually live together there, how we serve the client, how we increase the or add more value to the experience of the client, and all this stuff that will help us actually increase the numbers, which is the end result by the end of the time. So instead of having a look at the end, which is the number, take the number and see how you want to increase it, and come back and focus into that line or circle that will actually be adding value to the business or to yourself. So people could actually, if it's clients, for example, could be a repeating client, so you can actually increase your revenues through the specific person. Leading by removing the obstacles. Another issue that I see that people are facing with the leaders is that they're asking them, I jumped one characteristic, which actually it's connected to the one, the leading through empowerment. Empowering people, it's one thing, but enabling people to do something, it's the important thing. So in order to empower someone, you need to guide them correctly, and of course come to the next characteristic, which is remove any obstacles that those people are facing, into start taking actions towards a task or a goal that you set for them. So in order to give them the power to become a better person, become a better employee or whatever, you need to be there by their side, see what their obstacles are in front of them, and just find a way to remove them. Good examples on this is that I see companies with too many policies. We don't do this because our policy is this. We don't do that because our policy is that. All those policies at some point become an obstacle to the team, because you have the staff, the frontline staff, for example, which cannot take the next step into deliver a better service or a better experience because there is a policy by the company. What I believe is that we need to take all these policies and transform them into flexible processes that we need to do. And when obstacles arise, find a way to change the process a little bit so there are no obstacles in the middle of communication, service, any execution from your team. And last but not least, we live, in 2022, and things are getting better at some point. That point is that people discover themselves even more, and they want their lives to be, fun, easy, living a life that makes them feel great. We as leaders should keep the fun in the fundamentals, so people feel excited about what they're doing. They're not feeling that tired of doing it. When we are actually having fun, everything else moves smoother. So it's our job as leaders to keep the fun in the fundamentals. And before I change the slide, I want to say that leading people could be your team, could be your clients, could be your associates, could be your society, could be anything that, any team that actually has people. So leadership is not only to lead the business. Let's move forward. What are the ingredients to lead? If I take you back to the definition of leadership, we see that it is the ability of someone to lead a group of people towards a certain goal. So what it means is that if we have no goals, or if we have no purpose, there is nothing that can actually lead our people towards. This is what actually will help you understand that leadership, it's not a position. Anyone with a purpose and some values can actually drive the human race forward. It doesn't matter if, for example, I'm trying to, let's say, lead a client of mine through his marketing or through his communication in business and sales. What I'm trying to do here is to actually understand, why am I doing this? What is the purpose of doing this? So if I have a clear purpose of inspiring people to improve their, to build their life or the desired life through leadership and communication, it means that I know what I'm trying to do and why am I doing it. So make a note that you need this purpose, which will actually provide you with passion. You need to have values that will actually drive your behavior. The vision that forms the direction. Your people need a vision, so they need to have a clear vision where we actually go. Besides your personal goals, there should be goals for your team, so they know what they're trying to achieve. By having these ingredients in place, you are able to lead. As I promised, it was an introduction, a quick introduction with some basic notes in bullet points that might help you get a bit inspired about leadership. And as TJ mentioned before, we will open this conversation, discuss anything that will arise through any of your questions. So it's your time now to lead and lead the conversation by asking questions. Let me ask also, TJ, should I have the presentation running so we can move up and down according to any question, or just open our screens and discuss?
I think we can stop the, is this the final slide? I think we could stop the slide and then let's get the questions going. Yeah, ask
Super, yeah.
questions.
All right. So I'm open to your questions, and also if you wish to write your questions in the chat, just make sure that before we go, just to mention that I would love to stay connected with you, so you can find me on any social media that you're using, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, even TikTok, where I'm new there, Twitter. And my website is petrosphilippou.com. You can send me your questions even after the presentation to my email, which is mentioned there. And if you have people that you want them to take their next step into leadership and business growth, you may send them a gift by visiting petrosphilippou.com/gift. This for me. So let's just stop the sharing. Something is wrong with my Zoom.
Oh, is there anything I could help you with?
I think if you take the host back, it will.
Okay.
It doesn't allow me. It doesn't allow me to stop sharing.
Okay, hold on. There. Can you try again? Yeah, can you try again, Petros? Okay, there you go.
Great. Super.
You know, I'm looking forward to Carl asking a lot of questions because he did a lot of Harvard level studies lately. So I hope he has good questions. And also you're in the top right of my screen. I usually go clockwise when it comes to calling people.
Actually, yes, we can open discussion with anyone. If Carl has a question or anyone else.
I'm pressuring Carl.
Or
I'm just
simply,
kidding. Perhaps Leanne has a question. I mean, she's also a coach, so I'm pretty sure she's curious about a lot of things.
I'm a curious person, you know me. Leadership
Hashtag
is
side.
about rapport. Leadership is about rapport, and we have it. So yeah, Petros, thank you. And I'm curious about the types of leaders that you've worked with and the types of positions they are in. Are there, I guess, as a general trend, is there like a category of leadership positions that like perhaps is the most difficult?
leadership, it is actually difficult. I wouldn't say it's easy. It's something that we need to put in our lives and work on it on a daily basis. And it doesn't matter actually where you are. I mean, it's not easy to lead your kids. Let's start from there. I mean, leadership, it has to do with communication and behavior. It has to do on, with what we, how, let's say, we communicate our messages, our requests, how patient we are, waiting for someone to take the next step. How patient we are waiting for, the next client, or when we are hiring someone, wherever you take it, leadership has to do with people, and people behavior, it's getting, I could say, in most of the cases, worse by the years, because we lack on communication. So this makes leadership even harder. But at the same time, I would say that because we already know what it takes to become a great leader, it actually makes it easier for us. In the past, it was much harder because people had different beliefs and different approaches on other people. Now, things are getting better on that side. So I would say that even if it's not easy, it becomes something that we can actually, do and practice on a daily basis. You might lead a bigger team or a smaller team. The bigger team, the harder. But as you scale, for example, in a company, as you scale up, somehow the number of people around you is similar. Even if you're on the top of the business, you have your managers who are responsible into leading the people below, who are responsible to lead the people in the front line. So the way you bring down the mindset and the culture, the easier you make it for them to lead further.
I have a question.
Yes, Jay. I wish I answered Leanne's question and if she's satisfied with that.
It was in a little different direction than I expected, but it's interesting. And if there's time later, I'll ask a follow-up question. Go ahead for TJ. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks, Leanne. So what really caught my eye earlier is a leader should be removing obstacles for their people. And I was curious, like when would you know when to remove an obstacle or let them go through the obstacle so the person or the people that you're leading could also grow and become the next leaders? Because let's say I have a pretty good example of what's happening right now in one of my businesses. So one of our suppliers is apparently not registered and they can't provide us an official receipt. And so my staff, she's frustrated with the process back and forth, and she's facing some impediments or an obstacle, and I'm at the corner observing, and I'm like thinking, should I remove the obstacle for her or should I just let her figure it out? Like, what are the hints for me to know, like, should I remove it for her or just let her figure it out?
You are on the point. Removing the obstacles, mainly we are talking about internal obstacles that will not enable the person move forward. If the person is well trained and has the ability to overcome any obstacle by themselves, then they're more than welcome to do it. The problem that we face with leadership is that some people do not allow to their staff to take the lead and move forward to any obstacle that rises up. And then, of course, if they did any mistake, they can actually come back, discuss, and find the solution for the next time. This is what removing the obstacles means. Actually enable people before you even empower them to do something. They need to have a clear picture that, I will get that result and I'll do it in any way possible. So you are probably the right leader for them as you actually allow them do that. In other cases, we see the opposite, that we will never allow them do something unless they ask the management, unless they ask this, unless they do that. And that actually minimizes also the experience of the client. But the experience of our people working with us and for us.
Because sorry, sort of like a follow-up question or just a thought, because what if someone you know, you think they have the potential to be a leader, it's just they don't have the right business background to do so. So they don't have a lot of case studies, you know, tackled yet. So perhaps maybe the company should also have an initiative that would, you know, provide them time to study some case studies so they will not make the same mistakes of other people did. I think, yeah, I think we should also implement that. Sorry, just came right now based on your answer, just came to my head. So I'm just sharing everyone what's in my head right now. Yeah, Carl, do you have some questions, Carl? You're nodding, Carl. Anyone else? Arthur?
Okay, I have a question. What's your advice for the introvert leaders? I mean, can you be a good or effective leader even you're an introvert? I mean, if you are not vocal, you're not expressive, you're bad at communication. So, what's your advice for that?
Uh, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you very well, and I'm not quite sure if I understand your question. If someone that sounds clearer got it, may help me.
Okay, I'm sorry. I mean, can you still be a good or effective leader even you are introvert? Even if you're not vocal, you're not expressive, even if you're bad at communication,
Mhm.
can you be an effective leader? What's your advice on that?
Yeah, of course, yes. The answer is yes. I'm one of those guys that would never open his mouth in the past. I was really, a big introvert person. Everything changed for me, and even now I'm giving public speaking and all this stuff. I'm expressing myself better, and the reason is that I mainly found my purpose. I know, through the years, I clearly understood why I am on this planet. I have this clear purpose. I have my values. And that actually, well, as I mentioned also in the presentation, it gives me the passion to continue doing it and improving it for the good of people. That made me an open person and an extrovert person, able to share everything, all my thoughts, much easier. So I could say that by having in mind myself and how I managed to change into this, I'm sure that everyone can do it. And not only me, I've worked with some individuals that wanted to improve their communication skills, that actually helped them a lot into being able then to express themselves even better. The problem here is not the leadership as such. The problem is the communication skills. What I say is that people know, for example, what they want to say. They know why they want to say it. And because they lack or don't trust themselves on how to transform the message, they keep it, for themselves, because they feel like probably they will hurt someone or do this or do that. There are communication strategies that will help you express anything that comes into your mind without you ever worry about, hurting others or don't convey the message correctly. So if you practice your communication skills, it will help you huge on this.
Right, thank you.
More than welcome.
I would like to follow up on your answer, and it really got intrigued me to hear how did you find your purpose, and did the values that you say you finally have like cleared out for you, did you have them from the beginning, from where you were young, or did they, and they were always there, you just finally have them crystally clear, or did you find them out throughout the life, you know, and they did change with time?
Yeah. Actually, most of the values, yeah, I got them through the young age, probably came through my family or anything that, you know, my experiences in life. But of course, I have some values that they developed, you know, through my experience. And of course, also, I know about one of my values that I put it there and I was practicing on how to take my life, you know, take that value into my life. So in any way possible, in any way it is possible to either find the values that you have or even create new values and add them to your life just because you want, for example, to become a better person. So by asking how do I become a better person, we'll actually come up with some of your answers that could also be your values. In regards to the purpose and the values, I also did an exercise with myself and the people that I know they care. So if you just ask some of your people around you, why do they like you or why do they love you? You will discover, you know, some other values that you might not even know about you. That comes through your behavior. Also, by asking the professionals around you why they do business with you. So all of this together will give you some answers that will make it even, you know, more clear for you to identify what your purpose is. And just to let you know, if you're talking about a purpose on a goal, it's a different thing. And when we talk about the purpose of our lives, I just give you an advice that if that purpose has to do with you, it's not what you want to get inspired. Your purpose in life should be for people around you, either to a certain community or to a global scale. It doesn't matter, just that you have that purpose of, you know, helping, inspiring, guiding others achieve something. So in that case, because it's about others, that will give you the passion, that will give you the strength to continue. If the purpose is, for example, to, I don't know, make money, it's not always there for you because there is no internal power on that. It's just on the mind. So that could be a goal. And of course, there is a purpose of you wanting to make money. Everyone wants to make money. There are many, many reasons around it and many, many purposes. But in your life, make sure that your purpose has to do with people and not yourself.
Thank you, Petros. Very insightful. Thank you.
More than welcome, Arturs. Lian, do you want to extend the previous question, or I don't know what direction you were looking for and where I actually did go?
Because this is fascinating. So I can hang on a few more minutes. Thank you for the invitation, since you're inviting me to ask. Based on your, I got really interested in something you said. It sounded like some aspects of leadership are easier now and some are harder. And it sounded like some aspects may be easier because we're more exposed to more perspectives, and maybe people are more open-minded. But did I understand you correctly that some aspects are harder because is communication getting worse? What
Yeah.
aspect is missing, if that's the case?
The aspect is missing is what I actually mentioned before to Carl. For me, in terms of communication, are you aware with the golden circle of Simon Sinek? If you're aware
Heard the
with
name, haven't watched.
okay, it's very simple. The why, how, what. Okay. That will actually help you even more understand what I mean with this. It goes into the fact that, you know, when something happens to me, I want to react or, send a message to someone else, say something, do something, all right? So I know what I want to do and I know why I want to do it. What is missing in communication is how we communicate. And I'm not talking only, you know, about the tools. The tools is just there for us to help us. I can call you, I can text you, I can email you, we can Zoom, we can do whatever. The thing is, how I will actually send the message, either from my mouth or by typing or whatever, so I can make you understand what I want and why I want it, how I feel, for example, instead of just, you know, tell you something that is so immediate sometimes, and we get that fear of hurting someone, and we say, okay, let's not then talk to them. So we keep everything inside of us. It's good if we learn, you know, the basic strategies and techniques and methodologies of communication that will enable us to be honest without ever hurting anyone. And of course, that will lead us into taking our results and probably build more followers as a leader, because they will understand your purpose to the specific topic, for example.
Yeah, thank you. I understand that clarity of what and why and delivering that is so essential. Is it harder now than in a previous time?
I see the younger generation, due to the technology and the way they communicate. I mean, even the phrases have changed. The typing is changed. Many things have changed that will actually is causing them problems into communicating a message the right way. Otherwise, there is no other problem about it. And because I see also the younger generation that they're more willing into communicating, but they are afraid to communicate, for example, verbally. They prefer the written versions because they got used to that. So when they come into a team and they need to communicate a message, there is a small problem. But by practicing, or through coaching or whatever, practicing that communication skills, I believe it will make it even easier, because the younger generation is also somehow built for this mindset. I'm more than happy to see them coming through the years. because they are with, let's say, an increased empathy about people, the new generation, and that's why I love them. So it's not harder. It's just more difficult in
different.
some points. Yeah.
I hear you. I see. Yeah, the balance is shifted, favorably in one way, maybe less favorably in another ways. But it's a whole like combination of things to adapt to and work with.
It is, and something very important: leading starts within. I mean, you need to practice leadership on yourself. You need to lead yourself first towards a direction, so you can actually inspire others. It's not just go, okay, I have this purpose, so everyone please move forward. It's not like that. You need to drive yourself towards that direction. Practice your communication skills. Practice the actions needed to go to some specific direction, and then people will follow you even easier because they see you moving forward.
Thank you.
I want to talk about mindset.
Sorry?
I want to talk about mindsets. So I have a friend, he has a BPO company here in the Philippines, and basically we were having lunch and he told me I have to fire one division because one bad apple just corrupted the rest of the apples in the basket. It was along those lines, and it got me thinking. In your presentation earlier, there is also like changing of the mindset to be a leader. Is there a specific list, or is there like a book that we could use to actually train someone who's a beginner in your company into eventually turning into a leader? So yeah, I'd love to know like if you have some recommendations. Mindset creations.
There are plenty of books out there, and what I suggest always is not just going specifically to one, because leadership skills developed by learning different approaches on communication, on mindset and empathy, about understanding, about respecting. So what I suggest, which it was also on the presentation, the 5 levels. That book will make it clear, and probably it will help you see what else do you need to learn. The 5 levels of leadership by Maxwell, if I'm not mistaken now. I'm sorry. I'm not very well with names anyway, even with the biggest names. But that could be one book that can help you take the next step, and might also inspire you into reaching out. What else do you need to learn? Okay, and also learning about communication. That I wouldn't say there is a specific book. Communication, it's better to practice it. So for communication, I suggest that you, for example, or anyone who is interested in improving it, get a coach. Get a coach who will actually help you build that communication skills. By reading, it doesn't mean that we'll open the communication skills and improve them. The reading part or listening part, because there are also audiobooks and podcasts, anything that has to do with leadership, it's just something that, read, listen, discuss, exchange ideas, and go on and on. But
what you're telling me right now, Petros, as a business owner, I should really allocate a budget for my people to have their own coaches, because I know there's usually a rift between business owners and their employees where the employees are shy to bring up or bring things forward. They can't be straightforward with them. So that's why they communicate in other channels. And I think, yeah, a coach would be nice, or coaching, like a coaching budget. So we could create more leaders, because more leaders in your company means there's faster growth as well. So I recognize that.
Well, yeah, if you just see the people who actually made something, you know, big in life, they all had a coach around them, or even more than one coach. Even the best coach in the world has, you know, hired actually 3 coaches. The coach is not someone better than you. Is someone who is, you know, trying to help you improve something that he did, so you can actually improve your life and business and things like that. And with your example, I have many clients that they had issues, you know, with teams and this stuff. The easiest thing is to fire everyone. The hard thing is to be able, before the need to fire anyone, to you know, build the skills that will make the team a strong team, rather than, you know, coming to this end, the dead end, which will cost your friend, I don't know how, you know, how much, but I'm sure a lot, because you fire the team, you get a new team, train your team. There are many other stuff that will cost you time, money, and energy to get back. So if for example that person was, you know, working with the leadership skills and communication skills and all this stuff, how to build the team, how to improve the team, how to make them a team, you know, things like that, you can come up, you know, with one person, the bad apple that we said, that you can actually, of course, take it out. So the rest of the team will continue improving. That's the main point.
Arthur's down, his head's on the cloud. Like, he probably has a good question now. Go, Arthur's.
No, I was just listening and really enjoy how Petros. I feel that he's an expert in his field. He gives really good insights. And
I will say nobody's a perfect or an expert leader.
Petros, you know, it's rare for Leanne to stay extra in an event, extra time. So you did a pretty good job. She stayed more than she should. Yeah.
Thank you. She mentioned that she has to go, so no worries at all. I just wish that I'm giving you the answers that you want to get. As I mentioned before, feel free to connect. And if you have any further questions, just email me and I'll be more than happy to reply.
Well, as the host, I would just probably ask, like, you know, like in the bar, last call of drinks, right? So last call of questions, anyone, before we close? Carl, do you have something, Carl?
No, I'm just listening as well because I agree with everything Petros said about communication, about the team. Yeah, so I have no questions.
Okay. Arthur's?
I asked the most important question for me, I think, and I got a good answer.
Oh, cool.
I think so.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, thank you for attending this event. Petros, you've been a wonderful speaker. Everything's recorded, by the way, so this will be uploaded on the YouTube channel and the archives of GBO. So stay tuned on that one. And yeah, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you,
And
Matt.
I hope to see you again at the next event. Yeah. Thank you.
teacher. Thank you.
Arthur and
Thank you,
Petros.
Petros.
Bye, everyone. Take care.
Bye bye.
Bye, everyone.
See you again.
See you. I'll catch
See
up with you, Carl, after this event. Let's go have a separate conversation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Share screen. Where is this? Okay, before we